We are in the grips of our storm system that's going to give us a few days here of clouds, cold temperatures, occasional moisture, and we are talking ice and snow for northern Minnesota. There may be another storm on the way next week. Pictures some decent rainfall amounts here across southern Minnesota. Twin Cities generally lighter, but southern Minnesota anywhere from a half inch to as much as an inch recorded, but radar estimating even some higher amounts. These are totals through about 6-7 a.m. So we saw some additional rainfall after that, but radar picking up on kind of a bullseye here around Albert Lee, Blooming Prairie of maybe an inch to an inch and a half of rain. So we'll see what those actual rain gauge totals come in at, but either way, the first round of moisture, pretty substantial. And there were some pretty crazy wind gusts last night too with these storms. We had a 78-mile-an-hour wind gust east of Aberdeen, not in Minnesota, but I have heard from a couple people with some older dead trees that came down, and there were some 40 to 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts as those showers moved east overnight. So as I mentioned, this is the first round of moisture lifting to the north and east, wrapping up and around the center of this upper level low, which is cold air aloft, and it's vertically stacked, meaning the surface low and the upper low are in the same position, which means it's not going anywhere. We're going to just continue to see moisture pinwheel around. So we are going to look for thunderstorms to redevelop late this afternoon and evening across southern Minnesota. A couple of those could be strong, maybe some hail. That'll fill in with more rain overnight, lifts off to the north and northeast again, and that will become the second round of moisture we'll have into tomorrow. So as I mentioned, there is a slight chance of one or two rogue thunder showers producing some hail. Marginal risk for the southernmost counties of Minnesota of severe weather, but by far the risk of severe weather is to our south across Iowa, Missouri, and into Nebraska, where there's even an enhanced risk. So basically along I-90 or south, the chance that one or two storms could produce some hail. It's a 5% probability from the Storm Prediction Center, so again, one or two could produce some large hail because these storms will be elevated in nature, meaning the instability or the formation of those storms is happening way aloft rather than at the surface. But speaking of ice, we're talking about ice freezing rain potential here across northeastern Minnesota, especially around Duluth and the North Shore. Potential for a quarter to a half inch of ice accumulation tonight as those surface temperatures drop and this moisture lifts north into that colder air. Now we're going to see more scattered showers through the morning tomorrow, but it will become all snow for the northern half of the state tomorrow as that cold air wraps in, and then scattered snow showers gradually becoming lighter, rotating around this thing into Friday. Even here in southern Minnesota, we'll see some snow showers, but we will probably miss out on the accumulation. Looks like an inch or two in Duluth. That's all they need to get to their number one snowfall season spot, but potential for quite a bit of snow in the northwestern corner of the state and up along the international border. 6 to 12 inches possible. So this cold upper low sits over us. It's going to keep temperatures down too, but even when it moves on, the upper level pattern is conducive to cooler conditions, below normal temperatures, and we're talking about another one of these potential cutoff lows, just like this one, late next week. They are common in the spring for us. They create these days of miserable weather. There's a different track in terms of the surface storm, which is what would produce most of the weather. European model further south with the moisture, American model further north. Either way, we could be looking at another round of significant moisture less than a week away, with these river levels kind of staying at the peak because of this moisture too. So where these storms go really does matter, and we'll be keeping an eye on that. But normal high temperature, mid to upper 50s. These next few days, we're going to be in the 40s, and that normal high creeps up to 60 by early next week, but we won't really be that close to it. A little closer by Tuesday.